Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first testing session for the online platform to learn Danish quickly and pass Danish exams, especially the Danish exam Providence 2 and the Providence 3. So I am here on behalf of the team for test training online.net that for the past 4 years has been working on a system to facilitate the process to learn Danish and to pass the Danish language exams. As most of you might know, publicly I'm known as a legal advisor on immigration issues. And somehow you can see how a language learning platform can be connected to immigration issues because the integration process in Denmark passes through the language. The possibility to get good jobs in Denmark passes through the language, to get permanent residence, to get citizenship, etc., etc. So it's not something new for that. The mastery of the Danish language and to pass the exams in the Danish language are very important for any foreigner who wants to integrate and be in Denmark. So yes, I'm a qualified law professional, but something that many people don't know, or some people know, is that I'm also a qualified software engineer because I graduated from the IT university in Copenhagen with a master's degree in software development technology. So I got a job in the law sector, but that has not taken my knowledge of IT and software development. So I've been part of this team that since 2016 has been dreaming to come up with a system to facilitate the learning of the Danish language. So we are about to launch the system, but we are still carrying out the final phases of our test. So this is just like one of it for you to see what the capabilities of the system are. But in a nutshell, we think that anybody who is a secondary school graduate, so if you have had post-primary education, and even if you didn't go to the university, we think that it's possible to pass the Danish language within 6 months, if you're serious. The difference is in the strategy to learn, because all of us, we have passed through the language process and we took like 2 years through the language schools, which was good, but we think that the procedure takes too long. So for this platform, the strategy, first of all, is to teach the most important things in English, explaining the context in using the Danish words where necessary, and then thereafter doing practical lessons. So the most important thing we think to learn the Danish language is the grammar. So I am not a Danish language teacher. I'm just a moderator and a technical assistant for the platform. And I'll be moderating the online group discussions. But sorry, the system has been built in such a way that it should be cheap, because hiring a Danish language teacher to come for lectures every day or when we have online lectures will be very expensive, and we cannot make the cost to be low. So what we have done is, like, we have virtual teachers, and in this case we have Joey, the American, and Mats, the Danish. So Joey will be explaining things in English, and Mats will come in with the Danish when necessary. So this first test will focus on the revision for the PD2 and PD3 exams, because they're coming up in November and December. So we just want to use this first phase to assist those going in for the PD2, PD3 exams. And when we finish the test phases, in a couple of days. Then we'll publicly launch the platform for those who want to subscribe and make a paid subscription. So, and it's going to be very moderate. For now, we'll do focus on the revision, but from December and January, the focus will be to have like a new intake for January or December until the next session of the Danish language exams will be, which will be in May and June. So just to be active with what we'll come up with, it's a good idea to like our page on Facebook. This video will be posted on the page. And also to create a free account on the website, testtrainingonline.net. So that is the platform where the language, where you have excessive material to learn, practice, do exercises that somebody serious can do it on your own. But in addition to that, we have experienced that people need to be pushed to learn. That is why people want to see somebody like a teacher figure standing in front of the class to learn. So we came up with an alternative strategy to have group learning sessions on, so we will use Zoom to have group learning sessions for those who are subscribed to the platform. And we'll try to do one test for this Zoom group learning platform before we officially launch payments for the platform. So we need to have a situation where people are satisfied and know what it's all about before we can say, okay, it's time for people to pay for subscription. So for now, you can have subscriptions until the exams in November and December. Well, when we launch the system officially, you can have subscriptions until the exams in December. But if you think you're going to start or you want to do intensive Danish language targeting, the exam session in May and June, then we'll advise you that you should just subscribe for this current revision classes, so you will have some pre-knowledge on how the system works, and you learn some things before we start all over again, probably in December and December or January. So that said, I'll just do a test session on nouns, and you have your virtual teachers, Joey and Matt. First of all, they just have to introduce themselves so you can hear what they want to say to you guys. Just have to get the sound right. Yeah, so I'll play let me just let them talk to you.
My name is Joey and I am one of your virtual teachers for the Learn Danish Quickly classes. My role will be to explain the Danish language in English, and together with my virtual Danish colleague Mads, we will take you through the Learn Danish Quickly classes. Mads is your virtual teacher for the Learn Danish Quickly classes who will focus on the things to be said in Danish for the language course. Welcome to the class and good luck with your Danish learning process.
Tak, Joey. Alle er velkomne til vores virtuelle lektioner for at lære dansk hurtigere, og held og lykke.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is an introduction from our virtual teachers, and that is how the system is going to work. So to give you some kind of foretaste of of an important topic. So because for those who are going in for the revision, we think that the focus would be on the most important things. So we'll skip some things that we think that we don't have time to or that it's not necessary to start from scratch, because those going in for the exams have to be almost ready. So this is like a revision. So and we say for the beginning we'll start with the grammar and then we'll proceed. So as for the test version today, we are going to look into the Danish nouns. So, like I said, I'm not a Danish teacher. I understand Danish to my own level, but I'm just your moderator for this platform and your technical assistant. So let's get to Mads and Joey for some things on nouns, and you get the same information. You get information on the website on the topic related to nouns, while so you have it here. So this is the website, and yeah, so we go to the topic where you have nouns. So you have the different chapters here. So here we can see that we have nouns. And under nouns, you have subtopics like N-words, singular and plural, use of possessive pronouns, and genitive forms of nouns, etc., etc. So we'll start, we'll go to Matt and Joey to give us the introduction into nouns and to do some topics under the nouns, and we'll give you a screen view of what we have on the learning platform related to nouns. So here we go. So this is the introduction for nouns, introduction to nouns.
What is a noun? A noun can be a living thing. For example, a man,
En mand.
a thing.
En ting.
For example, a table,
Et bord.
a concept. For example, feeling,
Følelse.
development,
Udvikling.
or a name. For example, Ali, Aisha. Every noun has its basic form,
Grundform.
which is its shortest form. For example, house,
Hus.
boy,
Dreng.
car.
Bil.
This can also be described as the dictionary form of the word. A noun can be singular,
Antal.
for example a car,
En bil.
or plural,
Flertal.
for example cars.
Biler.
A noun can be an indefinite form,
Ubestemt.
for example a car,
En bil.
or definite form,
Bestemt.
the car.
Bilen.
A noun can be an indefinite singular form,
Antal ubestemt.
for example a car,
En bil.
or singular definite form,
Antal bestemt.
the car.
Bilen.
A noun can also be an indefinite plural form,
Flertal ubestemt.
for example cars,
Biler.
or definite plural form,
Flertal bestemt.
the cars.
Bilerne.
A noun can be in genitive form,
Genitiv.
for example, Per's car.
Pers bil.
The genitive is used when you want to specify an ownership or affiliation. An S is usually added at the end of the word in genitive form. For Danish, unlike in English, there is no apostrophe before the S.
Yeah, so you got that first introduction into nouns by Matt and Joy. So now let's go to the next topic. Here we go again. And so it's on N words and T words.
In Danish we have nouns described as
N-ord,
words having
en,
in the definite singular form, and other words described as
T-ord,
words having et in the definite singular form. There is no hard and fast rule to know if a noun is an N word or a T word. Most nouns in Danish depicting living things are N words. For example,
en hund,
a dog,
en mand,
a man,
en kanin,
a rabbit. But take note of exceptions like
et menneske, a person, et dyr,
an animal, and
et træ,
a tree. Most nouns in Danish ending with an E in the basic form are N words. For example,
en abe, en adresse, en flaske.
most nouns in Danish ending with an head, dom, else, ing, and are N words. For example,
En begivenhed,
an event,
en sygdom,
an illness,
en begravelse,
a funeral,
en afdeling,
a department,
en veninde,
a girlfriend. Danish nouns ending with eri and are usually T words. For example,
et verbum,
a verb,
et krydderi.
a spice. About 80% of all nouns are N words, so when in doubt, it's better to use the N word form. In Danish, some compound words are created from two nouns.
Sammensat af to substantiver.
For example,
En cykeltur,
a bike ride is made up of the nouns
en cykel,
and
en turro et havebord.
a garden table. Compounds words take the N or the T form, depending on the form of the indefinite article and the second noun of the compound word. So we have
En cykeltur,
because of,
en tur,
and we have
et havebord,
because of.
et bord.
In some cases the articles N or et are not used with the basic form of the nouns. For example, when you talk about uncountable nouns,
Han drikker altid øl.
he always drinks beer. Beer cannot be counted. Other examples are wine,
Vin,
water.
vand,
If the uncountable noun is contained in another countable noun, such that the container comes before the noun, then the article can be used. For example,
vil du have en flaske øl?
will you have a glass of wine? When you talk about a job, what you are will be or had been, or nationality. For example,
Han buschauffør.
he is a bus driver, and not.
Han en buschauffør. Han vil være buschauffør.
He will like to become a bus driver, and not.
Han vil være en buschauffør.
Read more on some cases where the articles N or et are not used with the basic form of the nouns, from the notes on this topic in the online Learn Danish Quickly platform. Study the table of some nouns in the different singular and plural forms from the notes on this topic, in the online Learn Danish Quickly platform. Definite singular.
Antal bestemt.
In the Danish language we put a noun in the definite singular form by adding a suffix n or et. For example,
Drengen,
the boy,
kvinden,
the female,
huset,
the house, or we use a demonstrative article in front of the adjective. For example,
den store dreng,
the big boy,
det store hus.
the big house. In Danish we have
So, um, so we return to, yeah. So we return to the main topic, and we'll just do one more explanation of a topic from Maths and Joy. And this time, let me see. So this time they'll explain to us nouns and the use of possessive pronouns and the genitive form of nouns. So first of all, I open it on the web, go to the website. Next topic. So the next topic will be singular and plural in Danish. So we go to Maths and Joy. We have this.
topic on nouns, singular,
Antal,
and plural.
flertal,
In general we have definite
bestemt,
and indefinite
ubestemt,
plural forms. Definite singular.
antal bestemt.
In the Danish language we put a noun in the definite singular form by adding a suffix en or et. For example,
Drengen,
the boy,
kvinden,
the female,
huset,
the house, or we use a demonstrative article in front of the adjective. For example,
den store dreng,
the big boy,
det store hus.
the big house. Now we talk about indefinite plural.
Flertal ubestemt.
In Danish, plurals for nouns in the indefinite form can be done in four ways: by adding er, e, or r to the basic form of the noun, or the basic form of the noun may remain unchanged. Many N-words have er added to the basic form in their indefinite plural forms. For example,
Kvinder,
girls,
biler,
cars. Some of the words in this group change the vocals in the plural form. For example,
en mand,
a man in plural becomes
mænd, en søster, to søstre.
the indefinite plural forms of some nouns in Danish end with an e appended to the basic form of the noun. For example,
Et hus,
a house,
to huse,
two houses,
en seng,
a bed,
to senge.
two beds. About 15% of all one-syllable noun words remain unchanged in the indefinite plural form, and most of them are two words. For example,
et glas, to glas, et sprog, to sprog, en fisk, to fisk.
In the indefinite plural form, some nouns change vocals. For example,
En søster,
a sister,
to søstre,
two sisters,
et barn,
a child,
to børn.
two children. Most nouns with many syllables have er added to the basic form to transform them to the indefinite plural form. For example,
En bil, to biler.
a car, two cars. However, there are some exceptions like
Flygtninge,
asylum seekers. Words like
en cykel,
a bicycle, ending with dl, miss the e before the l, in the indefinite plural form. For example,
to cykler.
two bicycles. Nouns ending with a silent e have are added to the basic form to form the indefinite plural form of the word. For example,
Et billede, to billeder.
a picture, two pictures. Many nouns ending with er have added to the basic form of the word in order to have the indefinite plural form of the word. For example,
En bæver, to bævere.
a beaver, two beavers. Some nouns ending with er, however, do not have the e before in the indefinite plural form. For example,
En søster, to søstre.
a sister, two sisters. Nouns ending with in their basic form have replaced by er in the indefinite plural form. For example,
Solarium, solarier.
solarium, solariums. There are many words that have irregular indefinite plural forms. For example,
En far, to fædre.
a father, two fathers. In a compound word made up of two or more nouns, only the last noun changes in the indefinite plural form. For example,
En bordlampe, to bordlamper.
a table lamp, two table lamps. Table summarizing indefinite plural forms. Indefinite singular form,
En kvinde,
indefinite plural form,
to kvinder.
ending, plus r. Indefinite singular form,
En person,
indefinite plural form,
to personer.
ending plus er. Indefinite singular form,
En dreng,
indefinite plural form,
to drenge.
with ending plus e. Indefinite singular form,
En fisk,
indefinite plural form,
to fisk.
ending unchanged. Indefinite singular form,
En mand,
indefinite plural form,
to mænd.
ending irregular. Definite plural, flertalbestemt. In Danish, we add ne or ene to the indefinite plural forms that have suffixes, to transform them to the definite plural forms. For example, plural forms indefinite,
Drenge,
boys. Definite plural form,
drengene.
the boys. Indefinite plural form,
Æbler,
apples. Definite plural form,
æblerne.
the apples. For nouns that end with er in their basic forms and which also have ere in their indefinite plural forms, have ne added to their basic forms to have the definite plural form of the noun. For example, singular indefinite,
En dansker,
a Dane. Singular definite,
danskeren.
the Dane. Indefinite plural form,
Dansker,
Danes. Definite plural form,
danskerne.
the Danes. Next, see the table in the lecture notes online on nouns, which indicates that nouns that have no suffixes in their indefinite plural forms have ne added to their indefinite plural forms to have the definite plural form of the noun. For example, in the case of
Fisk,
fish. Next, we go to the use of
den, det,
and
de.
for definite singular and plural forms of nouns. When there is an adjective in front of a noun, we use
Den,
for an n noun.
det, for at en und. an, de.
For the indefinite plural form of the noun. In this case is the indefinite plural, the E forms of the adjectives are used. For example, see the table on this topic in the lecture notes in the online platform with examples on
Dreng,
boy and
æble.
apple. You will have more on this when you study the chapter on adjectives.
Okay, I think we have had a session of about 30 minutes, and we did some introductions before the online lectures, and we hope as a test you find it very interesting. But if you subscribe to the site and you assist in the online training, the group learning processes, of course, we'll be teaching each other on how to master all of this, but then the core teaching will come from the platform and from the virtual teachers. And one other important thing about the system is that the lecture, will be recorded and stored on the platform. So even if you miss something, you'll have the time to come back and look at it and read the lectures, the notes in the online platform, and go through the audio lectures as well. So we think this way we can learn faster because the understanding will go quicker. And then I think many of us who have been having issues and those who didn't even have the time to learn Danish will be able to use this opportunity to learn Danish from wherever and whenever, and not having a situation where they don't find time to attend Danish classes and things like that. So thank you, and we'll be happy to get your feedback. Again, we call on you to create a free account on the website, like our page on Facebook, show your interest to be part of the learning group, and we'll get back to you. Thank you very much.